Nvidia is down 17% on the day today.
No, God, please, no, no!
What's going on with this stock? Why is it dropping? And is this a buying opportunity? It's days like today why I started this YouTube channel. These are the days I get excited about in the stock market. So let's get into this. Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Trey. This is Investing by Numbers. We talk about the stock market and other forms of investing. Really interesting today in the stock market with Nvidia dropping. Right now, market just closed a few minutes ago and we're down 16.5% on the day. Nvidia is one of the Mag 7 companies right now. So when you see this big of a drop, it usually can possibly be a big opportunity or a big news moment and possibly a big change for the company moving forward. So let's find out what's really going on here. So what happened today was we had DeepSeek, which is a Chinese app. It's an AI app, and it kind of has jumped on the scene recently. And a lot of people are saying it rivals ChatGPT and the other forms of AI apps being used. And it was actually developed with lower capability NVIDIA chips and developed much more cheaply than the amount of money that companies like Google and Meta are spending on their AI sectors. So what this is kind of showing possibly is that we might see a drop in revenue for Nvidia in that these other companies might start deciding that it doesn't take as much money as they're spending to develop the AI that we're seeing now. That's one side of the argument as to why Nvidia's stock price is dropping right now. So what does all this mean for Nvidia? I've got the 5-year chart pulled up on Nvidia. You can obviously see this big drop right here on today. So right now, of course, we are down over 16% on the day, and Nvidia is sitting at around a 47 PE. And if you followed this channel, you will know that I have been waiting and talking about Nvidia. I really like Nvidia. Nvidia is a strong company. They got a great balance sheet. They've got great growth behind them and ahead of them. They've got great profit margins, great net margins, and they've just been a monster for the AI market. I've been waiting for this stock to get below a 50 PE because that's where I feel like the price, that was my line in the sand. So now we are down here. But despite the news coming out, will I be buying? And the answer is yes. I'm excited about Nvidia, and as long as this thing is below 50, I will buy it. I don't care if it drops down to a 25 PE. That would be around $60 a share, so basically cut in half. I will buy this thing all the way as it goes all the way down because I believe in what it's done, and I believe with what they will do. Here's the whole thing, guys. I mean, these type of situations unfold all the time, and these are the news days that us investors are usually waiting for. Nvidia has kind of needed a good dip for a while now, and I think this is it. Now, the big question is, will it continue to drop, or will this just be a matter of a couple days? I can't answer that. I have no idea what the near term will hold. There's a big part of me that wishes this thing will continue to drop over months so that I can personally, selfishly develop a position in it. However, all of you watching out there, I don't want you to lose money if you do own Nvidia. However, I do think Nvidia is going to make people plenty of money over the next few years to come. Now, at the same time, this might be come Friday when I do have money to invest. I invest on every Friday. I invest personally 25% of my pre-tax income every time I get a paycheck. And I will be getting a paycheck on Friday. And so I will be investing a small amount of money into the stock market on this Friday coming up in a few days. Now with Nvidia, it could totally be where this thing will be back trading to above a 50. I mean, it could happen tomorrow. It could happen overnight, or it could drop. I don't think the news about the DeepSeek is that big of a catalyst for this thing to drop over the long term. I think we'd need to see some other things coming out. People are afraid that companies like Meta and Google will now be spending less money on NVIDIA chips because of what's going on with DeepSeek and how they were able to rival their technology with lesser NVIDIA technology, basically. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that those guys are going to continue to dump money into NVIDIA chips. And I think NVIDIA is going to continue to push themselves and expand and keep growing and push their product lines. So for me, this is definitely a buying opportunity for NVIDIA. Now, that it may not be for you. I don't want to tell you how to spend your money and what to invest in. That's what this channel is for. It's really to look at the numbers and help everybody learn how to find value in great companies. That's kind of my goal as an investor. I don't want to tell people what to buy or what to sell. I want everyone to make their own decisions, and I want to be involved in conversations about those companies. I like watching other people's YouTube channels and seeing what they're talking about. So let's check out the numbers on NVIDIA. So we'll look at these fundamentals, and this will kind of show you why I think NVIDIA is a great company and has a lot of potential ahead of them. So revenue, I always like to look at the revenue chart. This is the trailing 12 months revenue per quarter. And this thing is just, growing and growing and growing. We're hitting exponential growth here with revenue. That's what I want to see. When I look at a revenue chart, I want to see this thing increasing over time. Also, we want to look at net income and see the same thing. And we do. We see a net income growing over time. We've had the same kind of growth with net income over the past few quarters. Let's check out the balance sheet for NVIDIA. I like to look at the cash on hand. I also want to see growing cash on hand over time. And boom, we can see that. Got plenty of cash on hand growth, and we're hitting all-time highs with that. That looks amazing. We'll come back to the balance sheet. Total assets, we've got over 65 billion, and total liabilities, we've got over 22 billion. And the great thing about this is we have almost 26 billion of cash on hand, and this completely covers total liabilities and then some. Also, we have almost a 3x from total assets to total liabilities. That's a great ratio. NVIDIA's got a fantastic balance sheet. I'll give it an A for sure. And when we look at the income statement, these numbers they put up, we got 11 billion going all the way up to most recently we're at almost 61 billion, and that's just since 2019. So great growth there. So here's where I like to look at when I'm looking for a good value on a company. I like to look at what the PE is traded at in the past. Not every stock is created equally, and companies that have a lot of growth behind them and ahead of them, like NVIDIA, trade a little more expensive PE-wise than other companies. So I kind of like to look at what it has done and what it's been doing. Obviously, this goes back all the way to 2010, and back then in around 2012 to 2015, this thing was trading a lot below 20, even 15. And then we got all the way up to about a 50 PE around 2017, 2018, and it dropped down to 21. And then ever since then, it's kind of been coming back up. And so right now, being at a 47, this is the lowest the PE has been since 2019. So that's pretty awesome. Even though the price is only at about a 3 or 4 month low, our PE ratio is at a 5-year low, which is really what we're looking at here. And this is what I've been waiting at. This thing likes to stay above 50, and I've just been waiting for it to drop below 50. And here we are. So now the thing is, are we going to stay here until Friday and past then? Who knows? But as long as we're below 50 on Friday, I'll be picking up a little bit of NVIDIA. And before I sign off here, it kind of reminded me of a period of about 5 or 6 years ago. sometimes when these situations unfold and everyone starts freaking out and a stock price drops and everyone sells because out of fear, I want to look back to stuff like that's happened in the past. For instance, Netflix. Back here during 2019 into 2020 was really the period where a lot of new streaming services were coming on the scene. Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, and Peacock. I remember one of the big things was that Netflix was losing The Office, and as an Office fan, that was pretty disappointing. And so a lot of people really thought Netflix was a little bit doomed because they had all this market share, and now everyone was going to start opening their own streaming services, and Netflix was really going to get diluted. And that is not at all what happened. Obviously, we had some dips here, and if you're looking at this, these were fantastic buying opportunities for Netflix. And then, of course, into 2022, Netflix had a really hard time. But as we can see, what's happened since then, they have their stock price has exploded, and they're at all-time highs, pushing $1,000 a share. So pretty impressive. Just kind of a reminder when stuff like this happens in the stock market to one of your stocks that it's really just a buying opportunity. It's not a chance to get scared. If you're investing in companies that put up great numbers and have had plenty of growth and they're expected to grow more, these are the opportunities that we want to see happen. And this is where we want to pick up more shares of whatever stock we're buying. Anyways, I hope this was an interesting video. I hope you picked up on something. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.